Make a U-turn in 1,000 feet. Slight left. Take the next left. Sharp left. Turn right on. Continue on in a quarter mile. At the light in 600 feet. Turn right on.
You have reached your destination.
Okay, so I've moved the Volvo out of my garage. I'm going to take a break from buffing and polishing because I want to take a break from buffing and polishing. I put that through the washing machine and the other one through the washing machine. That's right there. And I want to get into something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, which is this. What by golly is that, ask you? It is also this. Okay, so for anybody who's not familiar with Barney Gaylord or any of his stuff, Barney runs a website called mgaguru.com. I think. Yep. mgaguru.com. And on there are tons and tons of articles on how to change, how to tune, how to fix, how to et cetera, your car, your engine, your carbs, your transmission, your rear and your front, your brakes, your brake pads, and much, much more. It's pretty much the Bible for all of MGAs. To include an MGA trailer, one of mine was featured on there, and an MGA tow hitch. Trailer hitch. This. It is nothing more than a 2x2 by 1/4 inch square tube welded to a couple of support brackets on each side, which then bolt up to another couple of brackets that are welded to the rear bumper brackets. I'll pause and show those to you. These are the rear bumper brackets. Okay, so essentially what I do, let's see, they go like this. They bolt to the rear of the chassis, and about right here to about right there ish is where the next brackets will be welded onto, and they then made up to the brackets that I'll be welding onto the piece, and you bolt it on, you unbolt it, on and on and on. This one has a couple of things that weld on directly onto the bar, such as that. I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go this route. So I have this already ordered from Amazon. It's coming. It's an 1.25" receiver. I've also ordered an 1.25" hitch, ball hitch, 3-way hitch, and to all that. Once everything is cut down, ready to go, and welding commences, it's going to be just that easy. And without any further ado, here we go. And 3 more of these. And no. Okay, here's the next part here. Damn it! So I'm going to weld a couple of these brackets on each side of this this square tube. I've cut it down. I need to cut it down more. I know that for a fact. I don't have the right welding wire. I'm using .023 and I should be using .035. Thicker stuff on this. As you can see, there's a slight gap in there of, I don't know, a millimeter or less. And that's for better penetration so that the actual weld goes all the way through and penetrates to both inner and outer. Okay. What I'm going to do is use the .023 to tack weld that stuff in place. I've already ordered the wire. I don't know why it's not here yet. Yeah, so, I'm on standby. In the meantime, as you can see, one angle piece here, one angle piece on the end that gets hung. Oh, there's my cat. That gets hung from these. These pieces are, as you can see, going to be welded to the angle, to the rear bumper brackets. I've placed this here just for show and to make sure that I'm measuring correctly and blah blah blah. And that's it. After it's all welded together, this stuff is going to be strong. The square tubing sure as hell is strong. These welds are able to withstand enormous amounts of stress. So from what Barney is saying in his article here, a couple 100 pounds tongue weight and 2,000 pounds of pull stress, or more, or less rather, is what this is going to be rated for. So it's going to be a class 1 hitch. Well, never mind. I actually did have the wire that I needed. I put down some welds, and then I ground off the excess of them. Let me back up. I welded the pieces together, then I welded on top of the welds. So instead of a nice neat bead that goes down right through here, it goes past and then past again. So I've tripled up the weld on all 4 sides and all 4 sides. Now, the next step after I've built this is to drill holes. Well, I can do it a couple of different ways, but drill holes, 1 and 2, down between both pieces. I have yet to. Here's the next step: welding the brackets onto the bumper hangers. I've situated these. I've measured. I've made sure I've tacked them onto one plane there, and the same here. So all I'm going to do next is zorch all the way across, turn it over, do the bottom, and that's that. And then I'm going to drill some holes. Let me back up. I'm going to drill some holes in the bumper brackets, 2 each, so that when I go to finally, adjust and put on and finish up this thing, I'll be able to make it perfect. So without further ado, I'm going to get welding, and I'll show you the after effects. And done. Can't handle this too long because it's hot. Damn it. Let's try this. There. Okay, so I ground off a little bit of the weld on this side, and I really overdid it on that side and ground a little bit off so it looked a little bit more presentable. Same with this one. When I was dressing this up, I lit myself on fire. And my shirt. So, oh well. All right, next step is to drill holes and then paint. And last but not least, the actual receiver itself. So I've already pre-measured and put the lines in there as to where it'll go. Wanted to show you how far away from the gas tank it's going to be in the event that I take a rear end hit or whatever. That's what, about 2 inches. I might go even a little bit more. Oops. Even a little bit more just for the safety factor. Maybe. But I don't want this necessarily peeking out from under my skirt, as it were. So, right about there. Next, I will weld it in. I will clean up everything so it's all nice and shiny like everything else. And then I'll paint the crap out of it. done. What you're looking at is 1, 2, 3, 4 welds per area. Okay, one in the crack, well, in the joiner of the two pieces, and then one up, one down, and one through the center. So it looks a little snaky and kind of ugly, but I'm going to clean it up a little bit, and that's going to be freaking strong. There it is on the other side. And again, I'm going to take the wire wheel, clean up all of this stuff, and then paint everything. Okay, so really, honestly, the last step, step 9, would be to mount the thing. I have not drilled the holes in the bumper bracket angle irons. Once I'm ready to put the car back together, I'll drill those so I can fine-tune how to place the entire bar. All in all, I've got 6 hours into this and about $167 in parts. I did not include welding wire or welding gas. So this is well within someone's grasp of doing it on a Saturday on their own time, and it's rather simple, but it's an extremely rugged design. So when you look at the shear stresses and the tensile strengths and etc. of weld and these brackets, I can put up with a lot of weight.